Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome back to the 2009-10 hockey season replay on the channel. We are live at Scotiabank Arena. Actually, what is it? Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, for Block 42 in my 2009-10 hockey season replay, as Strat-O-Matic Hockey is on center stage, featuring the Buffalo Sabres at the Toronto Maple Leafs. The only relevant division here is the Northeast Division. So far, the only team to have clinched a playoff berth is Buffalo, at a record of 42 wins, 29 losses, 5 overtime losses, currently good for 89 points on the division. The Toronto Maple Leafs are very much in the playoff picture. 34 wins, 33 losses, 10 overtime losses, good for 78 points, which is right now 1 point behind New Jersey and Ottawa for the final 2 playoff spots. So Toronto very much in the thick of it, but Buffalo is playing for the Northeast Division tonight. A victory here will clinch it in Toronto. So we will find out what happens there. And we're going to start being a little bit pickier about the board, about the games on the board as well. So I'll talk more about that when we get through Final Score Hockey. So, what say we jump right into the action once I remember to bring the play chart over on my iPad. There we are. Face-offs are +1 to Toronto, so let's drop the puck. A 2 will be a superior win. That'll go over to Boschman for Toronto, and we're off and running. Opponent defense 11. Tallender will already start us off with a penalty. 1, 2, 3. We'll say Tallender went off for interference. A 15. Checking for 3 or more 4-rated defensive players. We do have that. So we do have 3 or more 4-rated defensive players, which means that'll be an inside shot for Kuhlman. Kuhlman will let that fly at the net from the slot. That's a 12. That'll be a save, and we'll take that face-off right back out of the Buffalo zone. Arena groans. Ugh. Okay. Face-offs +1 to Toronto. 11 is going to go to superior any player. That'll go to Bozak, and we're off and running. Opponent defense 3. Roy. That'll be an inside shot for Kuhlman. Right defenseman is Myers. He will try to intimidate. Myers will intimidate, take the puck away, but a possible penalty. 1 to 15, no penalty. That's a 12. Myers has got it. We'll play on. He'll lose the puck. Outside shot only for Bozak. Bozak from the point. That's an 8. That's a rebound chance. Defensive right wing if defense rating 3 or more. Pominville is a 4. He will have that for Buffalo. Lose the puck. Outside shot only for Kuhlman. Kuhlman from the point once again. That'll be a 10 this time. That's a goalie rating on Miller. 3 and 7 are bad numbers for Miller. That's a 9. Save made by Miller. That'll go over to Pominville. Pominville for Buffalo. Lose the puck. Outside shot only for Boschman. Boschman from the point. That's a 6. He'll lose that over to Myers. Myers for Buffalo. He'll lose that over to Phaneuf. Phaneuf passing D. He'll lose the puck. Outside shot for Hecht. Hecht will throw that at the net. That's a 4. Save made over to Kuhlman just in time for a forwards line change. And now that is Stallberg for Toronto. Passing E. He will lose the puck. Outside shot for Kennedy. Kennedy will try to make a pass. He'll lose the puck over to Sjostrom. Sjostrom with it for Toronto. Possible breakaway. Uh-oh. Right defenseman at the breakaway penetration rating 2 or more. Boschman is a 3. He's in on Miller alone. What can he do with this breakaway? That's an 8. That's a rebound chance. Offensive center, offense rating 3 or more. Grabowski is a 4. He's going to have a rebound shot. That's an 8. That's another rebound. Offensive right defenseman, offense rating 3 or more. Boschman's a 4. He's got a rebound. That's a 4. He'll lose that over to Myers, as that'll get shut down for Buffalo. Lose the puck, possible breakaway. Uh-oh. Right defenseman, we established Boschman was a 3 earlier. He's in again alone on Miller. 5, that would be a goalie rating if the Maple Leafs were on the power play. But since they're not, Miller will make the save. He'll hold on for the draw. Arena groans. Ugh. As ID Jester now is first to join us here at Scotiabank Arena. Working on some stuff, so listening to what's going on. All good, welcome in, Jester. Face-offs now are even. 14 will be a visitor win. That'll be go over to Myers, and Buffalo's got the puck. He'll lose the puck, inside shot for anybody. They will give that to Stallberg. Vanek will try to intimidate. Vanek will intimidate. He'll take the puck away. Vanek with it for Buffalo. Opponent defense 5. That'll be an outside shot for Connolly. Connolly will try to make a pass. That'll be an inside shot for anybody. He will give that to Vanek. Vanek with the inside shot. A 4 save made by Jaguar. That's over to Grabowski for a defenseman line change. Grabowski with it for Toronto. Opponent defense 6. Connolly, that'll be an outside shot for Sjostrom. Sjostrom will try to make a pass. That will be, he'll lose the puck over to Montador. Montador's got it for Buffalo. Opponent defense 4. Caberlet will take the puck away with an outside shot. Caberlet will try to make a pass. Passing J. That'll be an inside shot for Stallberg. Stallberg in the slot. That's a 10. Save made by Miller and over to Connolly. Connolly for Buffalo. Opponent defense 6. Grabowski, that'll be an outside shot for Vanek. Vanek will try to make a pass. Passing J. That'll be an inside shot for Kennedy. Kennedy will let that go from the slot. That's a 12. Save made by Jaguar over to Stallberg. Stallberg for Toronto. Opponent defense 7. Vanek will take the puck away. Outside shot only. He's going to throw that at the net from the point. That's a 4. Save made by Jaguar over to Caberlet. Caberlet will lose that over to Montador, and we've got a forwards line change. Montador's got it for Buffalo. Opponent defense 3. Caberlet will take the puck away with an outside shot. He's going to throw that one at the net this time. That's a 4. That would be a goalie rating if the Maple Leafs were on the power play, but instead Miller will make a great save. He'll hold on. We'll get the face-off. We'll take that face-off to the right of Miller. Face-offs now are +2 to Buffalo. And a 12 will be a superior win. That'll go over to Gruyere. And Buffalo's got an offensive zone win. Outside shot only for anybody. They will give that to, who's the highest defense on the ice? They'll give that to Gaustad. Gaustad with it from the point. That's a 6. Save made, and they'll give that, and the Maple Leafs will give that to Caberlet. Caberlet for Toronto. Opponent defense 4. Montador, that'll be an inside shot for Mitchell. Montador will try to intimidate. Montador will intimidate, take the puck away, but a possible penalty. 1 to 12, no penalty. That's a 13. Montador going off for elbowing. 2, 3. And we'll flip over. Oh, that was actually a power play 16. Never mind. We're just checking to see if we have all 4 rated defensive players, and we do not. Actually, no, we do not. Never mind. So I'm going to reshuffle that card in. Because the power play was a 16, so that'll be no shots on the power play for Toronto. As we'll bring that face-off just out of the Buffalo zone. Face-offs are still +2 to Buffalo, and it would help if I would adjust my scoreboard to reflect that we are in the first period, even if we're late in the first period. Face-offs are +2 to Buffalo. 13 will be a superior win. They'll give that to Gruyere, and we're off once again. Opponent defense 1. Lundemark will take the puck away with an outside shot. He's going to try to make a pass. He'll lose the puck back to Gruyere. Gruyere for Buffalo. Opponent defense 9. Lundemark will take the puck away. This time it's an outside shot only. He'll gain the point and let it fly. That's a 6. Save made and right back to Gruyere. Gruyere for Buffalo. Passing D. That'll be an outside shot for Gaustad. Gaustad will try to make a pass. He'll lose the puck right back to Lundmark. Last chance of the period. Opponent defense 8. Greer will take the puck. Outside shot only. Time's ticking down. Greer's going to throw this at the net after gaining the zone. That's a 12. That's a goal on a 1-6. And no! Jaguar makes a great save at the end of the period. There's the horn to end the first period. We are scoreless here at Scotiabank Arena after 1. And we will get set for the second period of this game. And yes, as always in chat, you can feel free to tell me that my goal horn is horrendous, because, yeah, it kind of is in the grand scheme of things. Just going to get everything ready for the second period of this game. And I will mention now that tomorrow night, our normal small stream night, I do have a couple of unboxings lined up. So if you want to see some of the new goodies I've been picking up, feel free to stop by and we'll crack everything on the channel. As the Zamboni's getting the ice cleaned and all set to go for the second period of this game. Buffalo trying to clinch the Northeast Division with a win here. Toronto trying to play spoiler and preserve their playoff hopes. There's the split deck shuffled. Working on the action deck right now. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Forwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Defenseman, if I can ever get my fingernails under it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Forwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oop. Grab a quick hydrate break. Check out my phone just to make sure nothing else crazy is going on tonight. Okay. Make sure that starts charging again. There we are. We are all set to start the second period of this game. Face-offs are back to being +1 to Toronto. A 19, though, will be an inferior win. That'll go up to Hecht for Buffalo, and we're off to start the second period. Lose the puck, outside shot only for Kuhlman. Kuhlman will throw that at the net. That's a 7, save made, and over to Pominville. Pominville's got it for Buffalo. Inside shot for anybody. He will give that to Roy. Bozak will try to intimidate. Bozak will take the puck away for Toronto. Bozak's got it. Opponent defense 1. Roy will take the puck away with an outside shot. He's going to throw that one at the net, actually. That's a 5. Save made and over to Kessel. Kessel's got it for Toronto. He's skating around, passing D. That'll be an inside shot for Kuhlman. Pominville will try to intimidate. Pominville will intimidate. He'll take the puck away. Pominville for Buffalo. Opponent defense 10. Kuhlman will take the puck away. Outside shot only. At the point, Kuhlman 7. Save made. Right back over to Pominville. Pominville looking at opponent defense 7. Kuhlman's going to play hot potato with the puck for an outside shot only this time. 7 is a save made. Right back to Pominville. Hot potato continues. Opponent defense 5. That'll be an outside shot for Roy. Roy's going to try to make a pass. He'll lose the puck over to Bozak. Bozak with it. He'll lose that right back as Roy will intercept an errant pass. And now Roy and Bozak are going to play hot potato with the puck. Opponent defense 10. Ooh, that's going to be a penalty on Roy. We'll do a forwards line change. Then we'll flip over our 3 time cards. And then we will see what kind of power play Toronto is going to have. One, 2, 3. Power play is going to be a 5. If the right D is a 3 or more on defense, Myers is a 4. So that'll be an outside shot for Stahlberg. He's going to let that go from the point. That's a snake eyes. That's a goal on a 1-5. And score! Victor Stahlberg giving the Maple Leafs the first goal of the game and letting Toronto draw first blood. 1-0. Toronto now leads. Arena cheers. Yay! We'll flip over a couple cards to see if we get any assists. Let's see. Right wing, no. Left defenseman, yes. That'll be from Phaneuf. And I'm probably pronouncing his name all kinds of wrong, but work with me on this one. And Sjostrom. Toronto getting out to a 1-0 lead, trying to play spoiler on Buffalo, clinching the division. Faceoffs are even. An 8 will be a home win. That'll go up to Sjostrom, and we're off once again. Passing E for Sjostrom. He will lose the puck. Outside shot for Connolly. Connolly will try to make a pass. Actually, he's going to, make a pass. He'll lose the puck. Boschman will intercept that pass. He's got it for Toronto. Opponent defense 3. Tallender will take the puck away with an inside shot. Boschman will try to intimidate. Boschman will intimidate, take away the puck, but a possible penalty on Boschman. That's a 6, no penalty, and we'll have a defenseman line change. Schenn with it for Toronto. Inside shot for anybody. He will give that to Grabowski. Connolly will try to intimidate. Connolly will intimidate, take the puck away, but a possible penalty on Connolly. 1-15, no penalty. That's an 11. We will play on. Connolly's got it for Buffalo. Passing F. That'll be an outside shot for Vanek. Vanek will throw that at the net from the point. That's a 12. That's a goal on a 1-9. And score! Thomas Vanek ties the game up for Buffalo here in the second period at 1. Arena groans. Ugh. Try to get some assists. Any player? No, almost. On 8. The center with a 2. Yep, that'll be from Connolly. And no. Lidman. Okay, we are tied at 1 here as the teams head back to center ice. Faceoffs remain even. 19 will be a visitor win. That'll go over to Kennedy, and we're off once again. Looking at an inside shot for anybody. They'll give that to Vanek. Stahlberg will try to intimidate. 1-12. He will intimidate, take the puck away, but a possible penalty on Stahlberg. That's a 12, so just barely no penalty. Stahlberg will have that for Toronto. Opponent defense 11. That will be a penalty on Vanek, though. 1, 2, 3. We'll do a forwards line change, and then we'll see what kind of power play Toronto's getting up to here late in the second period. All right, power play coming up for Toronto. A 17. If one or more 4-rated defensive players, and we do have a 4-rated defensive player. Actually, yeah, 17 is just looking for one or more. Okay. Outside shot for the right wing. That'll be Wallen with an outside shot first. That's a 6. That'll be a save. Then an outside shot for the right defenseman over to Shen. That's a 10. That's a goalie rating on Miller. 3 and 7 are bad numbers. That's an 8. That'll be a save by Miller. Then an inside shot for the center. They'll give that to Mitchell. That'll be Mitchell with it. 5 is a save. And then an inside shot for anybody. They will give that one to Caberlet on an inside shot. That's a 6. That's a goalie rating on Miller. That's a 4. And that's just barely a save, but barely counts here. Miller gets enough of it to turn it aside. We remain tied at 1 on a big penalty kill by the Sabres. As the period's ticking away. Arena groans. Ugh. Face-offs are +2 to Buffalo. A 9 will be a superior win. That'll go up to Rafi Torres, and we're off once again. Torres has got it for the Sabres. Opponent defense 2. Wallen will take the puck away with an outside shot. He will try to make a pass. That'll be an inside shot for Mitchell. Mitchell's going to let that go from the slot. That's a 7. That's a goalie rating on Miller. That's a 4. Miller will make the save. He'll hold on. We'll get the face-off. We'll take that one to the left of Miller. And here's the face-off to the left of Miller. A 1 will be a superior win all day long. That'll go over to Lidman, and Buffalo's got a big defensive zone win. Lose the puck, possible breakaway. Uh-oh. Left D, if the breakaway penetration rating 4, it is not for Caberlet. Montador will have control of that. He'll lose the puck, outside shot only for Wallen. Wallen will throw that at the net from the point. That's a 9. Save made by Miller over to Torres. Torres for Buffalo. Opponent defense 3. That'll be an inside shot for Gruyere. Left defenseman Caberlet will try to intimidate. Caberlet will take the puck away. Caberlet's got it for Toronto now. Lose the puck, outside shot only for Lidman. Lidman will throw that at the net from the point. That's a 10. He'll lose that over to Wallen. Wallen for Toronto. Losing the puck, outside shot only for Gruyere. Gruyere's going to throw that at the net. That's an 11. Save made by Giguere over to Wallen. Wallen passing F. He'll lose the puck, outside shot for Gruyere. Gruyere will throw that at the net. That's a 3. Save made and over to Mitchell. Last play of the period for Toronto. Lose the puck, outside shot only for Montador. Time ticking away here. Montador lets it go. That's an 8. Uh-oh, that's a rebound chance. Offense, any player. I'm not going to worry about injuries because I don't play with injuries. The rebound shot will be Gaustad with the rebound shot. Giguere couldn't quite control it. 6. Save made over to Wallen, but there's the horn to end the second period. Toronto and Buffalo trade salvos in the second as we are tied at 1 heading into the third period. No hockey tomorrow. As I mentioned, we'll be doing a couple of unboxings on the channel instead. Wednesday, we're going to be playing another book game as we play the House on Sentinel Hill. So our next hockey game will be Thursday. We'll be right back here in Strat-O-Matic Hockey. In case you didn't see the earlier, in case you might have not seen the earlier blocks, I have decided to drop Inside the Crease as being the other half of this replay. Not far from a knock on Inside the Crease. Inside the Crease is an amazing system, but for what I need for a replay, Inside the Crease is just not able to give that to me. And I think ChatGPT described it best when it's described inside the crease as as like a wonderful multi-course meal that tastes amazing, but the problem is on a weeknight, I need a workhorse engine as being part of these replays, and inside the crease just demands way more of a time investment than I want to sink into it. And even the third period games I was using for inside the crease were kind of compromising the standards a little bit. That's the short version of it. Longer version will be coming during Pino with Phoenix next week. So if you want the full, actually, they'll be coming on Sunday afternoon. So if you want the full story of what happened and where that's going to leave things with sports season replays moving forward, make sure you tune in for Pino with Phoenix on Sunday afternoon. Actually, it'll probably be more like, well, I don't know when exactly it's going to be. It will be Sunday. It will be sometime Sunday after my morning game video. So stay tuned to the channel on Sunday for Pino with Phoenix, where among other things, that will be a topic of conversation. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Forwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Defensemen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Forwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, quick hydrate break. And then we will start the third period of this game. As hopefully everybody who stopped by is enjoying a little bit of Monday Night Hockey here on the channel. Face-offs are +1 to Toronto. A 20 will be an inferior win all day long. That'll go over to Pominville for Buffalo, and we're off to start the third period. Passing E, that'll be an outside shot for Roy. Roy will try to make a pass. That'll be an inside shot for Hecht. Hecht will put that at the net in the slot. That's a 4. Save made by Jaguar over to Kuhlman. Kuhlman for Toronto. Passing E, that'll be an outside shot for Kessel. Kessel will try to make a pass with it. He'll lose the puck over to Pominville. Pominville will intercept that pass. He'll lose the puck, outside shot only for Kuhlman. Kuhlman throwing it at the net. That's a 3. Save made by Miller over to Roy. Roy's got it. Opponent defense 6. That'll be an outside shot for Pominville. Pominville will try to make a pass with it. Let's see. He'll lose the puck. Kuhlman will have control of it. Kuhlman for Toronto. Passing F. That'll be an outside shot for Bozak. Bozak's going to throw that at the net. That's a 7. He'll lose that over to Pominville. Pominville, looking at an inside shot for anybody. He will give that to Roy. Bozak will try to intimidate. Bozak will intimidate. He'll take the puck away. Possible breakaway. Uh-oh. Right D, if the breakaway penetration rating 2 or more. Boschman is a 3. This is his third breakaway of the night. Boschman's 0 for 2 on his previous chances. Let's see what he can do here. A 6 on a breakaway. That'll be a huge play by Hecht as he'll get back to stop the breakaway, and Hecht will take that puck away. Opponent defense 5. Kessel, that'll be an outside shot for Pominville. Pominville will try to penetrate, because why not? He'll try to penetrate against... He's trying to penetrate against Kuhlman. That's a 7. Pominville gets in. He will have an inside shot. That's a 5. Save made by Jaguar and over to Kuhlman. Kuhlman for Toronto. We'll lose that right back to Pominville. Pominville's got it. He'll lose the puck. Outside shot only for Bozak. Bozak from the point. That's a 6. He'll lose that over to Myers, and we've got a forwards line change. Myers with it for Buffalo. Possible breakaway, oh boy. Left wing of the breakaway penetration rating, 2 or more. Kennedy is a 2. He's in alone on Jaguar. That's a 4. He'll lose that over to Boschman. Boschman will make a great play. Opponent defense 8. Tallender will take the puck away for an outside shot only. Tallender from the point. That's a 5. Goal on a 1-3 and score! Henrik Tallender giving the Sabres a 2-1 lead. Arena groans. Ugh. Let's see. Trying to remember how we got there. Right. Okay, we'll flip over a couple cards to get assists. So that'll be from Connolly. And Vanek. As the Sabres now have a 2-1 lead here in the midpoint in the middle stages of the third period. Faceoffs are even at this point. 3 will be a home win. That'll come down to Stahlberg as the Maple Leafs now need to get it going. Lose the puck, outside shot only for Myers. Myers will throw out of that at the net. That's a 10. He'll lose that over to Phaneuf as Phaneuf will make a great play. Inside shot for anybody. That'll be Stahlberg. Vanek will try to intimidate. Vanek will fail to intimidate. We'll check the shot, and then we'll take the shot, then we'll check the penalty. That's a 7 for Stahlberg on an inside shot. That'll be a save. We'll check the penalty on Vanek before we play on. 1-12, no penalty. That's a 4. We'll play on. Myers has got it. He will lose that over to Phaneuf just in time for a defenseman line change. As Caberlet's got that for Toronto. Lose the puck, outside shot only for Lidman. Lidman will throw that at the net. That's a 6. Save made by Jaguar over to Sjostrom. Sjostrom with it for Toronto. Losing the puck, possible breakaway. Uh-oh. Right wing of the breakaway penetration rating, 2 or more. Vanek is a 4. He's in alone on Jaguar. That's a 9. That's a goalie rating on Jaguar. 7, 9, and 11 are bad numbers for Jaguar. That's a 7. Score! Thomas Vanek giving the Sabres a 3-1 lead. Vanek's second of the night. Arena groans. Ugh. We'll flip over a couple cards to get some assists. Let's see. Any player 9? No. Right wing is who scored. Goalie, no. Left wing, that'll be from Kennedy. And Connolly. We'll bring the teams back to center ice as Buffalo has now taken a 3-1 lead. Faceoffs are even. 17 will be a visitor left defenseman win. That'll be Lidman, and we're off once again. Losing the puck, outside shot only for Caberlet. Caberlet will let that go. That's a 6. Save made and over to Montador. Montador for Buffalo. Lose the puck, outside shot only for Shen. Shen letting that go for the net. 10 is a goalie rating on Miller. Once again, 3 and 7 are bad numbers. That's an 8. Save made by Miller over to Connolly. Connolly for Toronto, or for Buffalo. Opponent defense 1. That'll be an inside shot for Connolly, or for Kennedy. Right defenseman. Shen will try to intimidate. Shen will intimidate, take the puck away, and we've got a forwards line change. If I can ever get my nail under the card. Schenn with the puck now for Toronto. Lose the puck, possible breakaway. Uh-oh. Center, that's Gaustad. He's in alone on Giguère. That's a 9. Save made by Giguère. Mitchell there to pick up the rebound. Lose the puck, outside shot only for Gruyere. Gruyere with it for Buffalo. That's a 10. Save made over to Schenn. Schenn with it for Toronto. Inside shot for anybody. They will give that to... They'll give that to Mitchell. Gaustad will not try to intimidate. He's a B, so low risk of intimidation. Mitchell will let that go. 6. Save made over to Gruyere. Gruyere. Lose the puck. Inside shot for anybody. They will give that to Lundmark this time. Gruyere will try to intimidate. Gruyere will intimidate, take the puck away, but a possible penalty on Gruyere. 1 to 16 or 1 to 15, no penalty. That's a 19, so we will have a penalty for tripping. 1, 2, 3. And that was a penalty. That was a power play 16. So we're checking for 4-rated defensive players. No, so there'll be no shots on the power play. We'll take that face-off just outside the Toronto's, or outside the Buffalo zone. Face-offs are +2 to the Sabres. A 6 will be superior win. That'll be over to Montador. And time ticking away here in the third period. He will lose that over to Caberlet. Caberlet with it will lose it right back to Montador. Montador, opponent defense 3. He'll take the puck away with an outside shot. Caberlet with a last desperate heave at the net. That's a 6. Save made over to Montador, and brrr, there's the horn to end this game. The Buffalo Sabres pick up a huge win here over the Toronto Maple Leafs by a final score of 3-1. Arena groans. Ugh. And with that win, the Buffalo Sabres have now wrapped up the Northeast Division, which means they will be guaranteed no lower than the 3 seed. But that's enough musing on that for the time being. As I mentioned in a post that I put up on the channel earlier this morning, there won't be another standings update because we are so close to the end of the season. So the next standings update, just to make things easy, is going to be the final standings update of at the end of the regular season, because that will also have what the playoffs are going to look like. But as usual, we need to see how the rest of the NHL fared in this block. So I'm going to do cleanup as usual, and then we will see how the rest of the NHL fared as we ask our friends at Downey Games and Final Score Hockey for help with that. Let's go Buffalo. I gather you're happy about the Sabres clinching the Northeast Division in this replay. And everything about this replay is making history because this is the first hockey replay I've ever had on the channel. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised this one won. I'm kind of surprised this season won over 1971 baseball. But in the grand scheme of how this replay's gone, and I'll talk about a little bit more about this during Pino with Phoenix, I have mixed feelings on how this replay's gone. I've been enjoying the story it's telling, even if the swapping between inside the crease and Strat has caused me some unexpected complications. But for that same reason, it's been one of the most important replays on the channel because it's helping me. It's basically testing my hockey infrastructure on the fly, where I've discovered that Strat hockey is going to work very well for season replays moving forward. But inside the crease, just as much as I like the inside the crease system, it's just not going to work. But again, I will talk more about that when we get into Pino with Phoenix at the end of the month. But congratulations are in order to the Buffalo Sabres, who clinched the Northeast Division with this victory. I'm also very happy with how keeping the ticker in Excel and setting up a whole bunch of formulas has actually been helping out with not having to babysit the standings so much where I don't have to massage games into it as much as I had to for 1985. So, yeah, definitely very happy with that part of this replay as well. Alright, we need the charts. I'm going to bring my drink over as well. And now we're going to see how the rest of the NHL fared here in this block. We're looking at the rest of April Fool's Day 2010, where we'll start off with the Panthers at the Bruins. And this is going to be a high-scoring game from the looks of it. Florida, G65. G65 is 5. Boston, H64, that is also 5. Pressure situations all around. Both teams are E's under pressure. An E31 won't do anything for Florida, but an E64 might help Boston score. Can Florida stop them? Yeah, right. Not with a roll like that. Boston will take that one 6-5 late in the third. Blue Jackets and the Red Wings. Red Wings are back at Chicago by 3 points in the Central Division. They need every point they can find, and they'll probably find some here. Columbus with an F13, that is 1. Detroit, H41, that is 3, and indeed the Red Wings will find points there with a 3-1 victory. Canucks and the Kings. Vancouver, J43, that is 3. Los Angeles, M63, that is 6. And the Kings will double up the Canucks. Blues and the Predators. Another high scorer from the looks of it, St. Louis, E65, that is 4. Nashville, K64, that is 6. And Nashville will take that one 6-4 as both goalies apparently forgot how to play. Flyers and the Islanders. Philadelphia, I61, that is 4. Islanders, J55 is also 4. Pressure situations all around. Philadelphia is a D, New York is an E. D54 won't do anything for the Islanders. And E62 has a chance for the Islanders. Can the Flyers stop them? Not with a D54 they can't. Actually, the Flyers were the only ones with a pressure situation there. The Flyers wouldn't have gotten it anyway. The Islanders will take that one 5-4. Hurricanes and the Senators are both G's. Hurricanes roll a 53. That's a big game for Carolina. '26 sends Carolina over to column Z. The Hurricanes definitely came to play in this one. 66, they really came to play. That is 12. Ottawa, with a G54, is only winning that game in their dreams. That is 3. And that looks more like a very low-scoring football game, but Carolina will get a 12-3 victory over Ottawa. Thrashers and the Capitals. That'll be a laugher. Atlanta, F11 is 0. Washington, N52, that is 4. And Washington will take that one 4-0. On to April 2nd. Vancouver at Anaheim. Both teams are L's. Vancouver rolls a 41. That is 3. Anaheim rolls a 32. That is also 3. Pressure situations all around. Vancouver's a B. Anaheim is an E. A B61 might help Vancouver. An E12 won't do anything for Anaheim. Vancouver will take the lead late. Anaheim needs to get the equalizer with their net empty. But an E16 won't help Anaheim with that. Vancouver will take that one 4-3. Just going to get everything set in case I need the scoreboard for a shootout. Calgary at Colorado. Flames, E44, that is 2. Avalanche, L23, that is also 2. Pressure situations all around. Calgary is a D, Colorado is a C. A D11 won't do anything for Calgary, neither will a C46 for Colorado. That game is going to overtime. Colorado with a chance to win first. An L33 won't get it done for Colorado. Neither will an E25 for Calgary. That game is going to a shootout. Calgary's a C, Colorado's a D. Actually, Calgary's a D, Colorado's a C. I had that backwards. Round 1. Let's see. C. Colorado will score in the shootout first. Round 2. Colorado will score again. Round 3, even though the game is mathematically over at this point. Colorado will score all 3 rounds of the shootout. They will take that one 3-2. Edmonton at Dallas. Both teams are G's. Get back here. Oilers roll a... What did we say? Both teams are G's. Oilers roll a 35. That is 2. Stars roll an 11. That's 0. Edmonton with a 2-0 victory. San Jose at Minnesota. Sharks. K16. That is 2. Wild. J15 is a big game for Minnesota. Uh-oh. 54 is -5 columns for Minnesota. This could be a big problem for them. They're rolling on column E now. A 56, though, that is 3, and that's a pressure situation for San Jose. The Sharks are a B under pressure. A B14 won't help San Jose, though. Minnesota with a 3-2 victory. Blackhawks at the Devils. Chicago, J56, that is 4. Oop. New Jersey, K64. K64 is 6. New Jersey will take that one 6-4. Montreal at Philadelphia. Canadiens, F42, that is 2. Philadelphia, L36, that is a big game for Philadelphia. Wow, we've needed the big game chart a lot tonight. 41 is +2 columns. So Philadelphia goes from column L to column N. 42 is 4. The Flyers will double up the Canadiens 4-2. Rangers at the Lightning. New York laying an egg here. G11 is 0. Tampa Bay, J16, that is 2. Tampa Bay will take that one 2-0. On to April 3rd. Devils and the Hurricanes. New Jersey, G34, that is 2. Carolina, L33, that is 3. Pressure situation for New Jersey. The Devils are a C under pressure. As the net is empty for the Devils. A C21 won't do anything for New Jersey, though. Carolina will pull a 3-2 win out of their hats. Washington at Columbus. Capitals, P33. P33 is 4. Columbus, H31. That is 2. Washington will double up Columbus 4-2. Predators at the Red Wings. Nashville, F62. That is 4. Detroit, K52. That is also 4. Pressure situations all around. Both teams are C's under pressure. C55 might let Nashville score. Detroit with a C50 to C21 can't stop them. The Predators will take a 5-4 lead. Now the Red Wings need a goal with their net empty. A C66 might let Detroit score. C51 Nashville can't stop it, and we've got high drama in that one. Detroit also with a chance to win first. I'm just updating my ticker before we get to Detroit with a K45. That will get it done for Detroit. They will take that one 6-5. Rangers in Florida to play the Panthers. Let's get the right thing. There we go. Where were we? Oh, yes. Rangers, I-45. That's a big game for New York. Third time I've had to go to the big game chart tonight. 44 is +5 columns. Let's see. I, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're rolling on column N. 31 is 3. Panthers are also an I. They rolled a 64. That is 5. The Panthers will get that win 5-3. Ducks and the Kings. Ducks, G61. That is 4. Kings, J31. That is 2. And the Ducks send the Kings quacking 4-2. Sabres at the Canadiens. Buffalo, I-63 is 4. Montreal, J33, that is 3. Pressure situation for Montreal. The Canadiens are an E under pressure. An E12 will do absolutely bubkiss for Montreal. Buffalo will take a 4-3 victory out of that. Senators at the Islanders. Ottawa, G65, that is 5. New York, H12 is 1. Ottawa will beat up on the Islanders 5-1. Oilers and the Coyotes are both E's. Edmonton rolls a 24, that is 1. Phoenix rolls a 45, that is 2. Pressure situation for Edmonton. The Oilers are an E under pressure. An E66 might let Edmonton score. Phoenix with a B34. They can't stop the Oilers' Oilers' press attack. The Oilers will tie that game at 2, but Phoenix has a chance to win first as the game is in overtime. Both teams are E's. A 21 will do it for Phoenix about as much as the 34 will for Edmonton, which is to say, not. And that game is going to a shootout. Both teams are C's in the shootout. Round 1. Neither team will score. Round 2. Neither team will score. Actually, both teams are C's. Phoenix will score. Round 3. Edmonton has to score here or it's over. Edmonton will score, because of course they will. Round 4. Neither team will score. Round 5. Edmonton will score. Phoenix will not. The Oilers will get that one 3-2 in a shootout. Thrashers and the Penguins. Atlanta, F34. That is 2. Penguins, K55, that is 4. Pittsburgh will double up Atlanta, 4-2. Stars and the Blues. Dallas, I-55, that is 4. St. Louis, G51, that is 3. Pressure situation for St. Louis. The Blues are a D under pressure. A D11 will do absolutely nothing for St. Louis, though. Dallas will escape with a 4-3 victory. Bruins and the Maple Leafs. Bruins, H51, that is 3. Maple Leafs, J64, that is 5. Toronto gets a 5-3 victory. Calgary at Chicago. Calgary, D14, that is 0. Chicago, O66, that is 9. And the Blackhawks are going to slap the Flames silly, 9-0. Sharks and the Avalanche. San Jose, J62, that is 5. Colorado, L46, that is 3. San Jose will beat Colorado 5-3. Detroit at Philadelphia. Detroit, G52, that is 3. Philadelphia, L46, that is also 3. Pressure situations all around. Detroit's a C. Philadelphia is a D. A C32 won't help Detroit. Neither will a D42 help Philadelphia. That game is going to overtime. Philadelphia with a chance to win first. Which an L26 won't do for Philadelphia, but a G56, that will for Detroit. Detroit will take that one 4-3 in overtime. Minnesota at Vancouver. Wild, E56 is 3. Vancouver, N26, that is also 3. Pressure situations all around. Minnesota's an E. Vancouver is a B. An E54 will miss for Minnesota. A B53, that'll have a chance to get it done for Vancouver. Can Minnesota stop Vancouver? Now with an E43, Vancouver will score. They'll take that game 4-3 in overtime. That is your final score hockey from Downey Games. If your team won tonight, congratulations. If they didn't, there's always Thursday. Thursday night, we're going to be on April 5th, 2010, and we need to decide what game we're going to be putting on the board. And looking at our selection of games for the board, I'm looking at a pretty horrible selection. First, let me see if I need to resort anything in the standings. I actually do, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. Let's see. Vancouver has clinched the Northwest Division, which I kind of thought they would. San Jose's also wrapped up the Pacific Division. I'm going to deal with standings a little bit later. But we need to look at our games on the board. So for April 5th, our 3 games that we have to choose from are Minnesota at Edmonton, which is basically garbage because Edmonton's in, Minnesota is not. The only way Minnesota is watching the playoffs is if they buy a ticket. Columbus at St. Louis. St. Louis is very much outside the playoff picture here. Not really interested in that. Boston at Washington. The only thing I'd be interested in for that is getting the Bruins an extra board appearance, but putting the Bruins on the board really isn't going to help anything. So what I'm inclined to do is I'm inclined to final score my way through that block, or through those 3 games, and see if there's something on April 6th that excites me. So I think that's what we're going to do here. We're going to final score hockey our way through April 5th so we can get to April 6th. I don't usually do that, but these games are just not very good. So let's go ahead and final score our way through April 5th. We will go with we'll have the Wild and the Oilers up first. Both teams are G's. Minnesota will roll a 52. That is 3. Edmonton will roll a 43. That is also 3. Pressure situations all around. Both teams are E's under pressure. Neither team will get any kind of help with that, so that game's going to overtime. Minnesota, or Edmonton, I should say, with a chance to win first. Edmonton with a G64. That will get it done for Edmonton. They will take that one 4-3 in overtime. Columbus at St. Louis. Columbus, G20. Actually, both teams are G's. Columbus rolled a 21. That is 1. St. Louis rolled a 25. That is 2. Pressure situation for Columbus. The Blue Jackets are an E under pressure. An E16 won't do anything for Columbus. St. Louis will take a 2-1 victory. Bruins at the Capitals. Based on final score, this looks like it should be a laugher. Bruins, E43, that is 2. Capitals, R42, that is 4. The Bruins will double up the Capitals 4-2. Now let's have a look at April 6th and see if there's anything there that's a bit more exciting. April 6th, first game we've got is the Los Angeles Kings at the Anaheim Ducks. That could be interesting if not for the fact that Los Angeles is currently 5 points out of a playoff spot. So that's got possibilities. Devils and the Thrashers could be interesting, but I've had the Devils. That wouldn't really affect seeding all that much. That could be interesting, though. Rangers and the Sabres. I just had the Sabres on the board, so I'm not warm to doing that. Sharks and the Flames. If Calgary was a little more in it, Calgary is very much out of it right now. San Jose is looking likely for the 1 seed in the West. Where are we? Oh, yes. Chicago and Dallas. Ooh, that could actually be interesting. We'll put that one down as a possible game for the board. Let's see. Ottawa at Florida. Ottawa right now would be the 7 seed. Florida is very much out of it, so probably not there. Montreal and the Islanders. Not interested in Montreal on the board. We've got another marquee matchup of the Washington Capitals and the Pittsburgh Penguins. That's a very tempting idea. Carolina at Tampa Bay. Carolina, Tampa Bay, not really interested in that one. Let's see, we've got 2 more games here to choose from. Philadelphia at Toronto. Philadelphia is starting to claw their way back in, but they need to climb a long way to get back into the playoff picture. Colorado at Vancouver, not really interested in. Jester, I don't know if you're still around and paying attention, but were there any of those games on April 6th that caught your ear? Actually, you don't look to be around. Never mind. So I guess what we're going to do here is looking at the division race in the West. Ooh, that Central Division race is really close. Let's see, if we get to block 44... Well, when we get to block 44... yeah, I think I gotta play it again. I think on Thursday, we're going to... What's the arena? We're going to Civic Arena in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for Block 43 and another game of Strat-O-Matic Hockey between the Washington Capitals and the Pittsburgh Penguins, mainly because I'm thinking we're going to be moving west for the final board game of the regular season. But stay tuned for that, coming up on the channel. A lot of great stuff coming up on the channel. Tomorrow, as I mentioned, I'm going to try to do a couple of unboxings on the channel because I've gotten some new stuff in that I want to get cracked on the channel. As for Wednesday, we're continuing our book game adventures as we play the house on Sentinel Hill. Thursday will be at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, as the Washington Capitals play the Pittsburgh Penguins. Saturday, Mystical Munchies will conclude out of the recipes from the World of H.P. Lovecraft cookbook as we make the drink, The Gibbous Moon. Sunday, we're playing Machina Arcana from A Dream of Games. Thank you for watching this video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone. The Buffalo Sabres clinched the Northeast Division over the Toronto Maple Leafs by a final score of 3-1. Once again, take care, and I will see you guys tomorrow.